Howdy everyone, and welcome back to the Luna Geeks Out channel, and once again it is a very exciting day because we are checking out the other new Sleep Token track because they be going crazy, The Summoning. I've heard a lot of folks say this is even better than Chokehold. I'm gonna be pretty surprised if they managed to pull that off, because Chokehold, I mean, I've been listening to it a lot these past few days, and it's gonna be pretty hard to beat that one for me. So we will have to see how this compares, but I am very much looking forward to it. So without further ado, let's hop into it. Our bit of a atmospheric start again. Straight into some riffing. I gotta turn this up. Okay. Really interesting vocals in this one. Good old raise up there. Oh, great highs there. Oh, that is nice. Oh, that is some good cards. Ooh, keyboard in the back. Nice. Oh, we got uncleans. Let's go. Oh, I wasn't sure on this track at the start. I like it now. Guitar solo? Whoa! They're pulling out everything in this one. This is like, what, like the second guitar solo they've done? I haven't heard all of 1 and 2, but... No, I've heard all of 1. Haven't heard all of 2, but... No. Heard all of 2, haven't heard all of 1. Pretty sure that's the second solo they've done, though. Great chorus in this one. For some reason that was making me think of Loathe there. I don't know why. I don't know what song it's making me think of, but giving me some Loathe vibes. Oh, that's nice. Okay. That reminded me of that one Muse song. Getting some chunk in there, nice. That was a shift. Interesting synths there. It's backing vocals as well. Alright. The piano in there, nice. Sports kind of ambient motion as well. I'm not entirely I'm not entirely sure what this section is doing. Like, it keeps shifting around in ways I wouldn't expect, and depending on the song, that be something that's good or bad. I think it's working here, but a very, very interesting section. Very Sleep Token section as well. Okay. I need a full Sleep Token song like this. Sort of, funk vibes, I think. I think some good bass back. Was that some backing vocals there? Actually, I also never do this. I need to rewind and hear that. There's some backing vocals there. Nice. Nice. Some great drumming. Really weird section, and I love it. This is just so cool. Okay, that was it. I think it could have, like, ended a bit stronger. I thought it was a good ending section. I think the actual end could have been a bit stronger, right? But, man, interesting song, interesting song. I'm gonna be honest, I might have to listen to it some more and see how it holds up. I think I like Chokehold more. Not seeing many people say that. I think I like Chokehold more from this, but there's so much great stuff in this as well, which I'll get into in a moment. Man, there's a lot of stuff to love with this, and if we see more stuff that we saw in this one throughout the rest of the upcoming album, oh, it's gonna be good. But lyrical analysis time, as much like with the last one, lots of different stuff to get into. So we'll start off right off the bat with the refrain. I've got a river running right into you. That to me calls up, perhaps an idea of destiny, that, whatever vessel does leads to whoever this song is about. And, with a lot of the religious undertones that their music has, especially with lines like the taste of the divine in the refrain. Perhaps there's this idea that, this relationship that they tend to sing about is perhaps ordained by some holy power. So an interesting idea there, the idea that whatever they do does lead them to this person. They are connected to them again, much in the same way we saw in Chokehold. So good connection there. And then right after that, I've got a blood trail red in the blue, of course, the blood in the midst of the river, just bringing in that sort of the violent undertones we tend to see in Sleep Token's music back into this one. Then we have the pre-chorus, which I really like. You've got my body, flesh, and bone, which calls back to what we saw in Chokehold, this idea of, sort of ownership, sort of, this person having them, they have them in a chokehold, they have their body, flesh, and bone. And then the second part of that, the sky above, the earth below, calls back to that line, under the stormy sea, above the highest peak, I think it was, just this idea of sort of nature and elements and that kind of thing. So this pre-chorus has some good sort of tie-ins back to the opening track, or I say the opening track, there is no telling how accurate this track listing is, so the first single they released. Then we have the bridge, a few things I want to point out in it. The line, "Did I mistake you for a sign from God?" calls back to the taste of the divine in the refrain, that section I was talking about, that whole idea of perhaps this relationship being ordained by some higher power. Are you really here to cut me off, or maybe just to turn me on? You know, sort of this intertwining idea of the love and violence we see. The, the strong feelings either way that we get from Sleep Token. And finally, because these days I'd be lying if I told you that I didn't wish that I could be your man or maybe make a good girl bad. Now, a lot of people, I say a lot of people, I saw one thread on this, and I'm pretty sure I saw other folks talk about this, but I remember I saw one Reddit thread on this. Someone was saying that they thought this is about Vessel finding a new person, but what this makes me think of is some of the lyrics on This Place Will Become Your Tomb. I'm especially thinking of, I believe it's High Water has the lines I'm thinking of, and Missing Limbs. So what I'm seeing here is not moving on to a new person, but still feeling like they want this, whoever this old person was that they're in a relationship with. At the end of This Place Will Become Your Tomb, we saw them starting to move away. Here we have this idea that they still do want them in their life. They still do wish they could be their man or make a good girl bad. So a different interpretation than the one I've seen with this, but that's what that is calling back to me with my mind. With Sleep Token lyrics, I really don't look at the other interpretations people have. At least I don't want to for this stuff. I want my initial reactions, my initial interpretations to be my own thoughts. So, I could be completely wrong with that. That's what that section gives me, is a callback to their previous album instead of a move beyond their previous album. But lots of good stuff in this. The lyrics here are a bit more repetitive. You have basically, you have three different sections that get repeated: the refrain, the pre-chorus, and the chorus. And then you have the bridge as well. So there's not a lot of variety in the lyrics like you saw with Chokehold. So there's not as many different elements to dive into, but there's a lot of stuff in these elements. So once again, fantastic lyricism from Sleep Token. Now, to review the music. It was Sleep Token music, right? It was, as expected, fantastic. The vocals I thought were phenomenal. We got some uncleans, which were... oh, those were nice. There's a video posted on the Sleep Token subreddit yesterday or 2 days ago. As of filming, who knows what it'll be when this goes up. My understanding of time, non-existent. But it had Vessel doing a proper bleh. And I was hoping we'd get something like that in here, because that would be awesome. Still hope for the rest of the album. But the uncleans we got in here were phenomenal. We had those... Innocent's proper uncleans, and then we had the ones that had a more sort of electronic distortion on them that reminded me of, I think it's Won't Step Down by Muse. It's the Muse song of the recent album that had the uncleans in it. It reminded me of those. So good, great uncleans, and they're great clean vocals. They had some backing vocals that showed up a few points, which were phenomenal, what can I say? And yeah, overall, fantastic vocals on this level of quality I would have expected from Vessel. Some surprises thrown in, nothing to complain about with those. The guitar, oh, it was nice. Great riffs, great heaviness, a little bit of chunk thrown in. I'll have to listen back again to see if it is to the level that'll put it in my chunk playlist. Chokehold, unfortunately, is not quite there. This one, I think, might fall a little flat as well, but it's pretty dang close. It was heavy. It got me very happy. We had, in that sort of funk section, we had a bit of guitar as well with a really interesting sound. We had the guitar solo, perhaps my favorite part of this song, because, like I said, I think this is the second one they've did. I know there's one in Telomeres. I'll just talk about this. I don't know if they did one on any of the tracks on one. I've only heard Fiance of Relation so far off of that. But as far as I'm aware, this is the second solo they have done, so very happy to hear that show up again. So guitar on this was fantastic. The bass, didn't notice it much during the heavy stuff, but during that funk section, I heard a bit of the bass there. I actually heard a lot of the bass there. That was really nice. So man, great bass on this. And then the drums, I'll have to listen back to the heavy section again, see how they held up there. But during that funk section again, they really shone forth. Just great consistency, great rhythm, just fantastic drumming in this. I'm sure it was great during the heavy section, but again, it didn't stand out to me as much in this song. And honestly, talking back to Chokehold, they still haven't stood out to me much in that one. I'm like, yeah, the drums are good, but I am worried that this album they're going to be a step below what they've been in the past. I really hope that's not the case, that we get some songs later on where Vessel 2 is really able to shine forth with his drumming abilities. But then, we have the other stuff, some keyboards and some electronics and everything, which are really cool. That more ambient, atmospheric kind of stuff. I don't know what to call that stuff. I thought it was cool. It was a bit weird, right? It was doing things like I wasn't seeing coming, and I thought that worked in this song, though on the whole, I really think if a song is just like, oh, it doesn't feel like it's sort of flowing naturally, I think that can really take away from the song. In this one, I think that slightly more chaotic, slightly more unpredictable element worked, but it was something that was very close to not working. So I think on the whole, there's a lot of great stuff in this track, a lot of great individual elements, right? We had a guitar solo, we had that weird funk section, we had some great riffs, we had some uncleans, and honestly, the heavy stuff worked fine. But I think when everything came together, it missed the mark slightly. I hate to say it about Sleep Token, and I'm not saying this is a bad song. I love this one. I mean, y'all saw how excited I was getting about this. But I do think when compared with Chokehold, which is such a tight track, that this one, it was lacking a little bit of connectivity between the stuff, if that makes any sense. So I will have to listen and see how things change over time as I listen to this more. I know when I listened to Chokehold, I was like, oh, this is super good. I went back and listened to it and really didn't like it all that much. And then I listened to it more and more and more. And now, I still think Atlantic is my favorite song, but it's probably my second favorite from Sleep Token. And all the different elements in that have really, figured them out, and I've really grown to love that track. I think the same thing is going to happen here. I'm going to listen to this more, and I'm going to get more of a feel of this and really grow to love it. But on this initial listen, it did just feel just a little off. Like I said, there's a lot of great stuff to love in this one, but when it all came together, it just missed the mark. And I hate to say that, because they've had such a good track record of songs that have been just about perfect. And then they have this, which has so many elements that I love, and it's just not there. But, I do think this one is going to grow on me as I listen to it more and more, so I'm not really going to count that against it too much. I think it's just one of those songs that doesn't work on the initial listen, which a lot of songs are like that, I mean, one of my favorite albums, Trauma by I Prevail, I could not stand the first time I heard it. So, I'm not going to count that against this. I'm just going to say that sort of personal taste and initial experience did not work with this one for me as much as I would like it to. But I don't really have anything more to say on the song, so y'all know the drill. It is time to select the next reaction. Lots of great ones on the list. We just had a new track drop today as of filming, a new Hanabiya track, which I'm very excited about. So let's see what we get. I'd love to stick with some metal, but it would be nice to perhaps knock out one of the more electronic things I have on the list. Lots of different options here. So let's give it a spin, see what we get. And, it's starting to slow down. Death Neon! I was not sure if that was on Death Neon or Love Bites. Very excited about this. I've reacted to one Death Neon track in the past, to Tarantula. This one, sadly, is not on streaming services, at least not that I've seen. But it is a track from Fortnite, of all things. Never thought I'd be reacting to that, but it is Death Neon. It is Manami from Wagamama Rocky, one of my favorite vocalists, so of course I gotta check out whatever they do. There's actually another track on this list that they were featured on that I'll be getting to eventually. But, yeah, I mean, that's gonna be good. I've heard a lot of good stuff about that. A lot of folks being like, man, I'm not even into Fortnite, and this is super good. I just wish that it was up on Spotify so I could put it in my mix, because I'm sure if it's if it's similar to the previous Death Neon tracks we've gotten, it's going to be phenomenal. And for those of y'all Sleep Token fans still watching, you might like this one. Death Neon is a similar sort of just weird mix of styles and does some cool stuff, so hey, stick around for that one. But that is going to do it for the reaction, so thank you all for watching. Be sure to like if you liked, subscribe if you want to see more, and comment down below with your own thoughts on the track, any feedback or criticism, or anything you want me to react to. In the description, link to the audio visualizer, you can go check it out, support the artist, link to my Sleep Token playlist, and my metal playlist, link to my Discord server, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify playlist of all the songs I've reacted to, at least the ones up on Spotify, and my link tree, which has all my other stuff in it, in case any of that interests y'all. Anyways, like I said, that's going to do it, so once again, thank y'all for watching, and until next time, I'll be seeing ya.